The Jealous Queen and the Kind Prince. Once, a queen lived in a big castle. This queen was not a good queen. She was bad, and she was jealous. She had a daughter. The daughter was a princess. The princess was very kind. She was also very beautiful. Many princes lived in many countries. They heard about the princess. They wanted to marry her. But the queen did not want her daughter to marry. She was jealous. She wanted the princess for herself. She didn't want to share her beauty and kindness with anyone. The queen said to each prince, "Before you marry my daughter, you must do something for me." Then she gave him a job. The job was very hard. It was almost impossible to do. No one could do the job. When the prince could not do the job, the queen was angry. She said, "Now you will die." The queen had a woodcutter. The woodcutter was strong and scary. He cut off the prince's head. "You will never marry," the queen said to her unhappy daughter. She laughed aloud, meaning laugh. The princess was very sad. She cried for the dead princes. Prince Theodore was the son of a poor king. His kingdom was small and not rich. He heard about the beautiful princess. He also heard about the bad queen. He said to his father, "I want to marry the princess." "Never!" cried the king. "The queen will kill you. You are my only son. I cannot lose you. There are many beautiful women in the world. You don't have to marry this one." But Prince Theodore was very sad. He wanted to marry the princess. He couldn't eat. He couldn't sleep. He just thought about her beauty and kindness. In the end, his father said, "Go then. Go to the princess. I hope you will do better than the other princes. I hope I will see you again." The king was still worried, but he saw how much his son loved the princess. The prince was very excited. He danced around his rooms. He ate a lot of food. He got strong again. He needed to be strong for the tasks ahead. Then he began his journey. He had no servants. His father was poor. He could not pay for servants. "I will find servants on the way," he said. He was hopeful and brave. He knew he needed help to win the princess's hand. After a short time, the prince saw a small mountain. "What is that mountain?" he thought. It wasn't there before. He went nearer to the mountain. It wasn't a mountain. It was a very fat man. He was on his back. He was asleep. The fat man was snoring loudly, a sound like thunder. The prince went near him. The fat man woke up. "What are you doing here?" Fat Man asked. He sounded grumpy from being woken up. "I was asleep," said Fat Man, "and now I am not asleep because of you. You disturbed my nap." "Why were you asleep?" asked the prince. "Because I had some food this morning," said Fat Man. "Now I want my lunch. I am very hungry." "What did you eat this morning?" asked the prince. 10 chickens and 100 cakes," said Fat Man. He rubbed his tummy, remembering the delicious meal. "Will you be my servant?" asked the prince. "Give me food," said Fat Man, "and I will do anything for you." So the Fat Man followed the prince. He was happy to have the promise of more food. The prince was happy to have a strong helper. A short time later on their journey, they found another man. His head was down. His left ear was on the ground. He was listening very closely. The prince went closer. He looked at the man's ear. His left ear was very large. It was bigger than a plate. "What are you doing, Big Ear?" asked the prince. "I am listening," said Big Ear. "The flowers are opening, the birds are singing, they are in a country over the sea, I can hear them. Can you hear anything in the house of the beautiful princess?" asked the prince. He was very curious. "People are crying," said Big Ear. "Another prince is dead." He looked sad. "Will you be my servant, Big Ear?" asked the prince. "Yes," said Big Ear, "I will." He was happy to use his special talent to help the prince. A short time after that, they saw two long things by the road. "What are they? Trees," said Fat Man. He was always thinking about food even when seeing strange things. They went nearer. "They're not trees," said Big Ear. "They are arms. The longest arms in the world." A little later, they saw the man's head. The arms belonged to him. "You are a very long person," said the prince. "I can be longer than this," said Long Arms. He stretched out his arms, making them even longer. "Come with me, Long Arms," said the prince. "Be my servant." So Long Arms followed the prince. He was happy to have friends. Next, they saw a man with a hand over one eye. "Is there something in your eye?" asked the prince. He was concerned. "No," said the man. "I can see a long way. I can see through things, buildings, mountains, water. I can see everything. When something is near me, I have to put my hand over one eye. Then I can see it clearly." "Come with me, Quick Eyes," said the prince, "and be my servant." And Quick Eyes followed the prince. He was glad to have a purpose for his amazing eyesight. They went on their journey. The sun got very hot. The prince opened his coat. He was sweating. They came to a man by the road. He wore two thick coats and a large hat. They could not see his face. He was all covered up. He said, "I am cold, cold, and cold." "Why are you cold, cold man?" asked the prince. "The sun is very hot. Our coats and shirts are open. We are hot." "When I open my coat," answered Cold Man, "the sun disappears. It snows. Everything dies of cold." "Come with me," said the prince, "and be my servant. But please don't open your coat." Cold Man went with the prince. He was happy to have company, even if he had to stay bundled up. Prince Theodore and his servants arrived at the city. The city was big and beautiful, but it felt sad because of the queen's cruelty. The prince went to the queen. "I want to marry the princess," he said. He spoke clearly and bravely. "What do I have to do?" he asked. He was ready for any challenge. The queen answered, "You will have to do 3 things. Do them well, then you can marry the princess." She looked at him with a cold smile. "What is the first thing?" asked the prince. He wanted to know what he was up against. "I have a beautiful blue jewel. Yesterday it fell into the river. Bring me the jewel before the sun goes down." The queen's smile widened. She thought this was an impossible task. The prince went back to his servants. "How can we find the jewel?" he asked them. He felt worried. Quick Eyes took his hand from his eye. "I will look for it," he said. He closed one eye and focused his powerful sight. He went to the river. "There it is! Over there!" he shouted. "I see it shining at the bottom of the river." "I can't see it," said Long Arms. He tried to look, but the river was too deep. Then Fat Man opened his mouth. He started to drink the water in the river. A short time later, the river was dry. All the water was gone. The jewel was lying on the riverbed, sparkling in the sunlight. Long Arms reached down with his long arms. He picked up the jewel. He gave it to the prince. The prince took the jewel to the queen. The queen was very angry when she saw the jewel. She couldn't believe they had found it. Then she said, "Tomorrow I will give this prince a very difficult job." She thought hard. She did not sleep that night. She was too busy planning her next evil task. The next morning, the prince woke up early. He went to the queen again. He was ready to face whatever she threw at him. "You are hungry after your long journey," she said with a cold smile. She thought she had him now. "I have 30 chickens outside. Eat them before 12. I do not want to find one chicken leg." She smiled cruelly. Can I invite a friend? The prince asked. I do not like eating without a friend. He knew exactly who to invite. You can ask one friend, said the queen. She didn't care. She thought no one could eat that much. The prince left. He will die this afternoon, she said to her daughter, and she laughed. The princess felt sad for the prince. The prince went back to his friends. Come with me, Fat Man, he said. Fat Man quickly ate the 30 chickens. He ate them in minutes. Then he ate the queen's other animals. He ate the bread in the kitchens. He ate the fruit on the trees. He ate the vegetables in the ground. He ate everything. Now what can I eat? Asked Fat Man. He was still hungry. There was nothing there. No more food anywhere. So he went to sleep. He was too tired to be hungry anymore. At 12, the queen called for her lunch. She was very hungry after thinking so much. She waited and waited, but no food came. She went to see the cook. Where is my lunch? She asked. She was angry. A fat man ate everything in the gardens and everything in the kitchens. There is no food. The cook was scared. The queen got angrier and angrier. Then she thought of a plan. Ha ha! She laughed. Now I will catch him. She was sure her new plan would work. The prince came to her on the 3rd day. He was calm and polite. Will you eat with me tonight? She asked with a lovely smile. She was pretending to be nice. And after that, would you like to sit with the princess for 2 hours? Yes, answered the prince. I would love that. He was happy to spend time with the princess. You will not fall asleep when you are talking to the princess, asked the queen. She had a trick planned. Fall asleep? Cried the prince. Never, he would never be so rude. When a person falls asleep with the princess, said the queen, the princess disappears by magic. Then that person dies, she smiled wickedly. The prince put on his most beautiful clothes. He wanted to look nice for the princess. He ate with the queen. Their conversation was very cold. The queen was still angry about the chickens. Servants brought wonderful food and wonderful drinks. When the prince turned away for a minute, the queen quickly put something into his glass of wine. It was a sleeping potion. The prince did not see. He drank the wine. Then the queen took him to the princess. They climbed up many stairs to a high room. The princess sat sadly by the window. The red light of the evening sun lit up her beautiful face. The river below, the flowers around the window, and her dress were the same color. She was very beautiful. The prince sat near the princess. They were very happy for a short time. They talked about their dreams and hopes, but the prince's eyes suddenly felt heavy. He started to fall asleep. The potion was working. He couldn't hear the princess's words. His eyes shut. He was asleep. He was slumped over in his chair. Half an hour later, he opened his eyes again. The princess wasn't there. She had disappeared. He looked everywhere in the room, but he couldn't find her. He ran to the window and looked out. He saw Big Ear below. He called to him, "The princess isn't here. We have to find her in the next hour." Long Arms brought the prince down to the ground. He reached up and lifted the prince and brought him to the ground floor quickly. "Where is the princess? Can you hear her, Big Ear?" Big Ear put his ear to the ground. "Yes," he said, "I can hear her. She is calling. She says that she is across the river. She is inside a tree. Her mother's men put her there." Quick Eyes looked. "Yes," he said, "I can see her. But how can we get her?" "I have an idea," said Cold Man. He looked determined, and he opened his coat. Snow fell. Everything went white. The world turned into a winter wonderland. Cold Man jumped into the river. The water turned to ice. It was very cold. They ran across the ice and brought the princess back. They were very quick. Long Arms put the prince and princess back through the window into the high room. He used his super long arms. They sat down. The door opened. The queen came in. She could not speak when she saw the princess. She was shocked. She gave them a cold smile. "We are having a very interesting conversation," said the prince. He was pretending everything was normal. "We are talking about trees and rivers." "Come with me," said the queen. "It is night. Your bedroom is ready. Your servants can sleep there too." The prince said good night to the princess. He was relieved to have her safe. He and his servants followed the queen. She took them to a big room. The room was nicely furnished, but it felt cold and unwelcoming. The queen shut the door. She ran to the cook and said, "Make a great fire under their room." She was plotting her revenge. After a short time, the room got very hot. The prince went to the door, but he couldn't open it. It was locked. "I can hear a great fire below us," said Big Ear. He was worried. "This is wonderful," said Cold Man. "I feel really warm for the first time in my life." He was happy. "Open your coat, Cold Man," said the prince. He was desperate. When Cold Man opened his coat, the room got colder again. It was a welcome relief. "That's better," they said. They could finally breathe. The queen listened at the door. She heard them. She ran to the cook and said, "Make the fire hotter." She was furious that her plan wasn't working. Cold Man smiled. "I am warm again," he said. He was enjoying the heat. "They are cooking for us," said the other servants. They were scared. "Take off your coat," said the prince. He was thinking quickly. The prince took Cold Man's coat away. "I am too cold," said Cold Man. "Please give me back my coat." Snow fell in the room. The prince could not speak because he was too cold. His teeth were chattering. Fat Man cried. There was ice in his hair. He was shivering. The queen came to the door. She listened. Nothing. "They are dead now," she said. She was pleased. She opened the door. The prince and his servants ran out of the room. They were alive. "Let's go and sit by a fire," said the prince. "My face and hands are blue with cold." He was still shaking. The queen could not win. She knew that now. So she left the country. She ran away and was never seen again. The princess married the prince. They lived happily in the castle. They were kind and fair rulers. They loved each other very much. And the good servants lived with them. They were treated like family. They were always welcome and valued for their special skills. They helped the prince and princess rule the kingdom wisely and kindly. Everyone was happy.